Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another Brown Dust 2 video. Now, a lot of you guys are probably new to Brown Dust 2 and I noticed there's plenty of new players coming into the game. So I figured this is going to be the most important topic that I want to make a video about. It's about how the gacha works and how you want to maximize your pulls as a free-to-play player. Because this is going to be particularly important. There are some people that still are not aware of how the system in this game works. It can be a bit confusing for new players, so I'll try my best to explain to you guys. Now, if you are new, right, you might not be aware of this, but hopefully you are aware of this. There are usually free pulls every single day. Now, free pulls are in the draw section right here. You can obtain all of these. Alright, these are all the free draws that you can obtain. You have one single one. Every single banner that comes out is going to give you a free draw every single day. So right now, as of the time of me recording this video, there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 free pulls that you can do every single day. So that's going to be a very, I would say, relatively high chance for you to be able to obtain, you know, a number of free characters as well. So the PT in this game works in a very unique way. There's two PT actually. So one is going to be this particular one. So this particular PT, alright, is going to be unique to the particular banner. Alright, so this one is not shared between the, it is shared between the character, right? As you can see, this one character is 80, alright, so character is 80, character is 80, but the weapon will have a different PT. Alright, so every 100 pulls, you're guaranteed a UR, or you know, the highest rarity in the game, right? Now, this is not going to be of the red up character. There's a chance for it to be the featured banner character, but it's guaranteed to be a 5-star, alright? So that means you are going to guarantee a 5-star for sure. However, it's going to be a random 5-star. So if you want to guarantee a character 5-star of that banner, you have to rely on this particular PT, which is going to be unique to that particular banner. So this is going to be the Powder of Hope PT. So every single pull that you do is going to contribute to this particular draw point right here. Alright, so let me just show you. If I do the free draw, even free draw included are going to give you, alright, as you can see, just now was 2, now it's going to become 3. Alright, so it always adds it up right there. So it's going to be unique to this particular banner for this one. And then once the banner goes away, so for example, like this banner is going away in July 4th, right? So once this banner goes away, these 3 draw points that I obtain will be converted to this thing called the Powder of Hope. Or if you want to, you can just, you know, do this and exchange it and get the 3 Powder of Hope. Now, what is the Powder of Hope? Powder of Hope, you can go to the shop right here. Every single character that are not limited, again, not limited, not collab characters, once the banner ends, they will be added to the Powder of Hope shop. Alright, as you can see, right now, we have 4 characters right here listed on the Powder of Hope shop. B-Rank Idol Helena, Homunculus Latel, Lapis Witch Sherazade, and Anti-Dystopia Diana. Now, if you guys are looking to get B-Rank Idol Helena, this is going to be one of the better ways to obtain her. Alright, very good character. And if you guys are looking to, right now, I would say Homunculus Letter is also pretty good. Alright, this guy is a very strong attack percent buffer, and he's able to buff it at least at +3. He goes down to 1 SP. Alright, very strong. But I would say if you don't have already, priority for me, I would recommend B-Rank Idol Helena. At least get at least 1 copy of her. She's really strong. We want to slowly get her up to +5, which is very important. Now, one thing to keep in mind, like I mentioned earlier, limited characters will not be added to this thing called the Powder of Hope shop. So once the limited banner ends, they won't be added here. So that means right now, if you look at the current roster, right, Helena, once her banner ends, she'll be added to the Powder of Hope shop. Same goes for Diana right here, and then same goes for codename O Alice. But Sherazade, limited right here, you can see limited, will not be added to the Powder of Hope shop. Alright, so very important. That's how the PT system works in general, right? So one more thing is, a lot of people actually, I've made a video about this, but somebody like came to my stream to argue with me recently. And it makes me so upset that people like to argue about this and they don't even know about how this thing works. Limited characters. Okay, so there's also one more thing besides the Powder of Hope shop, right? that's called the Golden Thread shop. Alright, so Powder of Hope shop is going to give you these characters right here. Alright, 4 random, I mean not random, but usually banner characters, and then there will be 2 banner characters and 2 random. And then there's one more thing called the Golden Thread shop. Now the Golden Thread shop, you can buy this thing called the Costume Selective Enhancement every single month. You can see right here clearly there, monthly limit 1 time. So what does this do? This basically gives you a +1 to any costume that you own, right? Or you have to own the costume. If you never have the costume, they will not appear right here in the list. So every costume that you own, you basically can get them +1 every single month. However, limited costumes and the collab costumes are not here. Alright, because I always get people, I have one of my viewers recently came to my stream to argue with me, why would you not pull for the collab characters weapon? You know, like a lot of people like to pull for weapon, I get it, right? You want to pull for weapon for the collab characters, but the truth is, usually 90% of the time, getting a character is better than getting the weapon, or getting a character up, you know, their plus up is better. So the discussion was about the, what was it again? Ares and Roxy, right? Now, should you get more plus or should you get the weapon? The answer is always get more plus. Get, you know, if you can +1 them, +2 them, +3 them, +5 them all the way, that's going to give you more benefit than getting the weapon, because there's alternatives for weapon, but there's no alternatives for the costume. You can never upgrade them. That viewer thought that you can upgrade them right here. So which is not true. Limited characters will not appear right here. Alright, so if you have a limited, let's say, you know, Bunny's Celia, you can see she's not right here, right? You can see this Celia is, you can see Celia right here, these 2 Celia. Alright, but you will never find the Bunny Celia right here, or Bunny Eclipse, because they are limited characters. Alright, let me show you guys what character I'm talking about, in case you guys are not aware. So Celia has a limited costume, which is this particular variant. You can see she wasn't right there. Alright, so very, very important. So which is why you want to plan things carefully if they are not limited characters. For example, Venaka, if you can't +1 her, you can't +2 her, you can't +3 her, it's okay, because you can always use that costume limited enhancement to always plus them in the future. Alright, so something to keep in mind. You can always take advantage of that. But limited characters, for example, Swimsuit Sherazad, a lot of people like to come to my stream to ask me, hey GuitarRock, I'm looking to +5 her, should I +2 her, +3 her, or +5 her? So my answer is, especially for limited characters, ideally you want to maximize them, because if you don't, there's no way to do that, right? The only way for you to do that is right now in this particular banner, and you have to pull for them. And it can be really hard, actually, especially if you're a newer player. It's really hard to just go in a bunch of pulls to up to +5. Now, her best stopping point is going to be +3. However, because she's such a strong competitive PvP unit, +5 her is going to be just, like, it's just way more value, I would say, generally. And she's still one of the stronger meta characters, right, for the time being. I would say, like, it's definitely worth it in my opinion, if you can go for it. Now, if you can't, that's fine. +3 is a good stopping point to get the SP reduction, I get it. That's going to be the best stopping point for a lot of, like, low budget players. But if you can afford it, go for +5. Definitely going to be extremely beneficial. Alright, let's go with this particular one. We're going to do the free pulls, and I'm going to explain. So how do you get the golden thread? Golden thread can be obtained every time you do pulls on the character banner, and if you obtain a dupe, so you can see this thing, this is the golden thread. Alright, so every time you obtain a character 3-star, 4-star, like dupe that you already maxed out, they will be converted to golden thread generally. So hopefully you guys are aware of that, because you want to ideally maximize the pulls generally using this method. Now, one more thing that's very important, I've mentioned this in my other videos before, so I hope I also want to mention it right here, right? Especially for a lot of people that are doing pulls. Oh, I got a UR right there. So if you are doing pulls every single day, alright, if you are a free-to-play player, you ideally, you want to go all in. If you're trying to +5 a character, this is for character, right? You want to go all in, preferably not on the first day of the banner, but on the last day of the banner. Alright, so like I mentioned, especially, so there's multiple different strategies to this, right? You want to maximize your pool in that way because there's free pools where will be given out to you every single day. As you can see, this one there's 11 more days. The D minus 11, that means this banner has 11 more days. So right now, if you already have a plus 3 Venaka, I would say you can stop right there, you know, wait for the last day before you go plus 4. Now, if you don't want to go plus 5, it's fine. You can always opt in, like I said, for a lot of the characters, they are not limited. They'll be added to the Powder of Hope shop later on. So you shouldn't plus 5 them ideally. It's actually cheaper to use a Powder of Hope, alright? So most of the time, the strategy is to plus 4 character. This apply for characters that are not limited. And then go to the Powder of Hope shop afterwards and plus 5 them via that later on. Now for limited characters, however, you know, there's no Powder of Hope, right? They won't be added there. So you just, you know, if you want to plus 5 them, I still recommend doing it on the last day because there's a lot of free pools moving forward. Now this is going to be especially important for the weapon. Alright, the weapon is going to be where this is going to be a very important strategy. You don't want to go all in and pull for weapons early on the day 1 ban, unless you're aware, right? Especially for free to play, because weapons, the reason why is because this, right? When you obtain dupes for costumes, it's still fine, right? You can still, it still converts to, you know, the golden thread that you can basically obtain or whatever, can use and stuff like that. But for weapon, if you obtain dupes, it's basically, you got nothing, right? Like weapon, you only need 1 weapon. There's no like weapon enhancement, there's no plus for the weapons. So you only need 1 copy. So ideally for weapon pullers, you want to do this on the last day of the banner to maximize that. Alright, so for weapons, that's going to be how you always want to maximize your you know, your pulls on the last day, because that's going to give you the maximum amount of value, especially for free-to-play players. So pretty much it. Hopefully that summarizes how you want to approach the game. Alright, so very, very important. Take advantage of all of this. 2 PT system, again, just want to mention, one is Powder of Hope, one is the regular 100, every 100 pulls is going to guarantee you a 5-star. Alright, and then try to take advantage of the Powder of Hope. Weapon, pull on the last day. Character, preferably if you can, pull up to plus 4, especially the non-limited ones. And then, you know, use the last one for Powder of Hope if you want to plus 5 it. This can be applied to a lot of characters like Venaka as well. For example, that you don't really think you need her to be plus 5, you only want her to be up to plus 1. Alright, because Venaka is a very good character to have a plus 1 stopping point, because plus 1, as you can see, is going to give you the SP reduction from 4 SP to 3 SP. Usually the SP reduction is where people are looking for that stopping point. So if you are just looking for just plus 1, then just get 1 copy if you want. Alright, and then like from Powder of Hope, you can get 1 more later on. So that's something to keep in mind. I'll have a more thorough review about Venaka, about Dalvi. So hopefully you guys stay tuned on that if you guys are still deciding, or you want to wait for Nebreeze coming next week, right? So yep, so that's going to be pretty much it for this particular video. If you guys haven't already, please feel free to check this other video as well that I did the other day. The worst mistake that can ruin your account, this particular one. I think this is a very important video as well for a lot of newer players to watch. If you guys haven't checked that video out, I'll link it in the description below. I'll try to pin it as well in the comments. Alright, so as always, subscribe if you guys haven't already for more Brown Dust 2 contents, of course. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.